Thank you everybody for joining us. We are so excited about our conference. Our conference will be completely virtual, which we are super happy about because COVID is all around us. It is everywhere. I'm not going to get into too many details, but believe me, it is everywhere. And so we are just thrilled that we can offer a safe way for all of us to learn together and to bring solutions together to the self-determination program. So please enjoy yourself at this meeting and enjoy yourself at the conference on Friday. And we're going to get started. We have presenters from all around our amazing staff. And so I am now going to hand it over to Kristina, who is going to start sharing her screen. Go ahead, Kristina.
Hello, everybody. My name is Kristina. I use pronouns she, her, ella. We're going to go ahead and start our presentation. Like Judy said, we are going to keep the questions for the end, but please feel free to write your questions in the chat, raise your hand, and we'll get to them as soon as possible. We're going to go ahead and start with registration, and Monica's going to go and explain that.
Thank you, Kristina. In terms of the registration process, it is still open, so you can still register for the conference, and you can do so up until Friday. Better not to wait until Friday, so I say sooner the better if you can, but it is still open. Please keep in mind that 3 local volunteer advisory committees are fully funding the conference. So if you are served by Orange County Regional Center, Redwood Coast Regional Center, or Valley Mountain Regional Center, then you register, and in your registration questions, you'll indicate which regional center you're with, and I will know that I'm going to go directly to them to fund it. You don't need to get a POS, you don't need to contact your service coordinator, nothing. So they 3 regional center advisory committees have very generously given us that grant. So take advantage of that if you haven't already. Let's see. So the next thing after registration is proof of funding. So what we need at DVU is we don't need to be paid by December 2nd. I don't need a POS in hand by December 2nd. I just need some sort of confirmation from either your regional center or your FMS indicating that they will pay for the conference. Some examples that I've received from regional centers are POSs. I have received POSs. I've received emails from service coordinators that let me know I'm working on this, so-and-so will be funded. That's wonderful. That's all I need. In terms of FMS funding, I've received confirmation from FMSs. I've received full spending plans. Just figure something that you can get to me that indicates that you are going to be funded for the conference, and that allows us to enable that you have full access to the conference. I want to take note that 2 FMSs, GT Independence and Aviana, we're billing a little differently. I'm doing a super bill. So along the way, I'm sending them conference registrants, and they're letting me know if they are or are not able to be funded. And I am communicating that to the registrants. Please know that I have had a lot of response from families and registrants and FMSs and regional centers. I will absolutely return every email with an answer that I have. Every email will be responded to. So please use my email, monica@DVUnited, to continue asking questions if you need any assistance. But the basic thing is register and send me some proof of payment, some confirmation. That's all we need, and everything else will work out on the backside. Thank you. I think we're moving to Kyra next, right? Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kyra. My pronouns are they, she. I am one of the organizers and tech support for the conference. We've received a large number of questions about how to sign in to the conference app, so I'm going to go over that right now. The first step is to access the login link. Most of you should have received it by email, but in case you have not, I am also including it in the chat right now. And for those of you who are watching this or will be watching this as a recording, we will also be sending out the link on the day of the conference, so don't worry. As a reminder, when you sign in for the first time, please make sure you are using the email that you use to register for the conference. This works almost as your username, so it needs to be the same. We've also received a number of questions about downloading the Whova app. You don't have to download it. The link that I just sent you will take you to the web portal, so you can access it on your browser without downloading the app, but you can, of course, download the app if you would like. And I will have Kristina take me on over to the next slide so I can show you what that sign-in page, what that sign-up page looks like. Thank you, Kristina. Alrighty, so when you click on that link that I dropped in the chat, and again, it will also come over via email on the day of the event, what you're going to want to do is sign in using your first last name that you used to register for the event. Again, the same email that you used to register. This is also where you're going to create a password. We've had a few people ask, what's my password? Well, this is where you will create your password for the first time. It is possible that if you have attended a Whova event before, you will already have an account. In that case, you can just click sign in rather than signing up again. And finally, if you are unable to access this page, it may be because you haven't registered yet. Remember, you will need to register or get your ticket before you can actually sign into the platform. And as you can see right in the bottom of that little visual there, there's a register here link that will take you right to it. So super easy to access. Alrighty, and let's go on to the next slide. Thank you, Kristina. Alrighty, so great. Once you've signed in for the first time, you'll probably want to go ahead and look at the agenda, look at the sessions, view our speakers. So I'm going to walk through that with a little demo real quick. So I'll have Kristina stop sharing her screen and I will go ahead and share my screen here. Give me just a moment to toggle over. Alrighty, great. Everyone's seeing this okay? Can I get some? Awesome, perfect. Alrighty, so as soon as you sign in through that portal, you're going to be taken to this home page here. You see a description of our event. Over on this left-hand side is where you will see all the important resources for the conference. For the agenda, we're going to click on Agenda. This takes us over to the full agenda for the conference. As an example, I'm going to take us into the welcome session here. You just go ahead and click on this and it'll take you open to the session. Currently, the session is not open. So as you can see here, this is not available, but it'll start in 3 days when we have our conference. Very exciting. If you scroll down, you can see other great information, including our speakers. So we have 4 speakers for this opening session: Nancy Bargeman, Judy Mark, Sydney Edmond, Holly Carmichael. If you want to learn more about a speaker, you can click View Profile. So taking a look at Sydney Edmond's profile, we see her name, her wonderful photo, all of her titles, as well as a bio. And some of the speakers have included links to their websites. So this is a really great place to get more information or resources from speakers. And that looks great. So very quickly, I just want to show you guys on the day of the event, you will be able to click in here. If I click on that test portion, I'll be able to click join stream about 5 minutes before the session starts, and you will be put in a waiting room, very similar to how we do our SDP Connects and to how we started out today. Alrighty, that is it for the demo. So I'm going to go back over to our agenda and pass it over to Judy, Nina, and Darlene, who will be going through the sessions.
Okay, thank you, Kyra. So as you see, you can get all the sessions right there on the website. I mean, on the app, whether it's on your phone, on your tablet, or on your computer, you can get all the information you need about all the sessions. So the morning is going to begin with a welcome and greeting that you were just hearing about from Kyra, from Director of Department of Developmental Services, Nancy Bargeman. Sydney Edmond is a poet who has written this incredible poem called Self-Determination. And then our lead sponsor from GT Independence is going to be just giving a short greeting. It will be followed by an incredible panel of self-determination program participants, and they will be giving sort of testimonials about how the self-determination program has changed their lives. You do not want to miss this panel because it's going to really give you a sense of what the potential is in your life for self-determination. Then we're going to have a quick break of 15 minutes where you'll have a chance to meet our exhibitors and sponsors, which we're going to tell you about a little more in a moment. And now I'm going to hand it over to Darlene to talk about our breakout sessions in the morning.
Hi, thanks. So at 10:15, we're going to have breakout sessions in the morning and in the afternoon. And there'll be 10 breakout sessions in each chunk there. So in the morning at 10:15, you get to pick which one of these you want to go to. Okay. If you change your mind, you can exit it and you can go back in and do another one. Now, what I want to tell you that I think is really important is that within each of these courses, when you look at the app and you open it up, you'll be able to tell, is this a session that's only in English? Is it a session that's only in Spanish? Is it interpreted in Spanish? Is it interpreted in Korean? Or is it interpreted in sign language with ASL? So we have all that identified for you. You can see where the little thing there says ASL, English, Español. That's telling you how that session is going to be presented. So I think that's really important for everybody to know that information is available. In terms of the sessions, they're described here, but there's going to be things like equity and program enrollment, being compliant with HCBS, being your own boss as a self-advocate, learning together and consistent training, employing workers, the impact of the new directives on the IF, streamlining the process of getting participants into SDP, communication as a right for non-speakers, and getting on board with SDP training. So all kinds of different things. Check that out, and that closes at 11:45. Which case you'll then have the opportunity to go ahead and check out our Expo Center, which has the exhibitors and the sponsors. And again, we're going to talk about that some more, but it's kind of a break for you, okay? But go ahead and check out the Expo Center there. And then we get into our afternoon where Nina's going to tell us what we're doing.
Okay, so at 12:15, the afternoon breakout sessions start, and there are 10 great sessions. Just in looking this over to get ready for our, this session today, I just am blown. Let me just say, I mean, I feel like this is one of those pledge drives on PBS, but these are these panelists and the topics are so great. And as Darlene said, you don't have to freak out because, oh no, what, how do I have to pick out just, one? You can move around, but most importantly, you're going to get these recordings. So you won't miss anything. And there's so much here. So in the afternoon breakout sessions, we've got sessions on fixing FMS frustrations, breaking barriers into building your spending plan, new fairer hearings, the oversight and accountability. And I'm going to stop for a moment just to highlight this. The thing about this one, Judy's husband, Alan, is the moderator and not a not to miss, in my humble opinion. Okay, and going on, we have moving into year 2, beyond the beginning. These are some great, I also love the titles of a lot of these, thanks to Ed Herzl. They're so cool. And then another one that speaks directly to my heart interests and my son is Not Just for Some. That's people with high support needs succeeding in the SDP. I think we've all heard stories and directly been the recipient of STP is not for people who have any kind of challenges. So anyway, we have a session on that. We have who's in charge session about supported decision making, and another session about IFs, ensuring successful partnerships with IFs. And then another great title, changes, about unmet needs, changes to your budget. And finally, our last session, which is in Spanish only, and informing the Spanish-speaking community about the STP. And as Darlene said, you'll have information within the panel descriptions on the agenda about what is translated into what. So anyway, I think you're in for a real treat. And then I'm going to turn this back to Judy for the incredible closing out stuff.
Thank you, Nina and Darlene. I saw a question in the chat and I just want to answer it now because many of you are saying, oh my God, there's like 5 sessions I want to go to. All of our sessions will be recorded and we will make all of the recordings available to everyone who registered for the conference. So you will have the chance to watch everything afterwards. So how do you pick one of these great sessions? You should pick the one or two, because you don't have to choose one and stick with it. You can keep going to different ones. But I would choose the session where you might have questions or comments to make. Because obviously when you're watching it, it'll be on YouTube afterwards. You're not going to be able to ask questions. So I definitely recommend the one that you choose is the one that you may have something that you want to get out of it very specifically and be part of the conversation. I should also mention, everybody, that this is not your basic conference about how to go into the self-determination program. Those sessions exist in your orientation, in a lot of the trainings that local advisory committees are doing or funding. So this is really looking very deep into the program and trying to break through those barriers and come up with suggestions and ideas, which leads us to the final panel. And the final panel begins at 2 p.m. And it includes sort of the who's who of the self-determination program in the state, including people like Rick Wood, who is the chair of the statewide self-determination advisory committee, and Amy Westling, who is the executive director of the Association of Regional Centers Agencies. And Victor Lira, who's one of the leaders of the FMS's, Sunny Charness, a very well-known independent facilitator, Aaron Carruthers, the head of the State Council on Developmental Disabilities, Elizabeth Gomez, the head of a very large Latino organization called the ICC, and finally, Susie Reckworth. Oh, I missed Tim Jin from our staff, who's amazing, who is a self-advocate and self-determination participant. And then finally, Susie Reckworth, who's the self-determination program ombudsperson representing DDS. So what we're going to look at in this final panel is, what did we discuss today? And how do we make sure that the self-determination program will stay around for many, many years to come? Because we know that it is facing a lot of challenges right now. And this will be the people who have the authority and the power to really make the self-determination program work. And I don't want you to miss that final panel. So, and then finally, I'm going to take it back to someone else. We're going to go to the Wonder Room. So I'm going to throw it back to Kristina now.
Yes, thank you, Judy. And really quickly, before we get into Wonder Rooms, I want to go ahead and spotlight our sponsors and exhibitors.
Thank you. Sorry, that was my fault.
No worries. Ed is going to go ahead and share some words on them.
Certainly. So hi, folks. My name's Ed Herzl. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm organizing both sponsors and exhibitors for this conference. We really wanted to take a moment and thank all of our wonderful sponsors whose logos are currently on the screen. In particular, I'd like to thank GT Independence, who's our top sponsor, for their generous support. All of our sponsors have made it possible for us to offer interpretation for certain high demand sessions, and for the plenaries, the big webinars at the beginning and the end of the conference, as well as scholarships and translation of our conference materials, which we know is really crucial. So we're so excited to work with our sponsors, many of whom we have longstanding relationships with, some of whom we're very excited to form new relationships with. And we hope you'll take the opportunity to both engage with them during the breakout sessions that they'll be speaking on, and during the Exhibitor Expo, where they'll all have a complimentary booth. We've heard from lots of people that they've gotten their FMS or gotten a service provider from our previous conferences. So we really hope to hear the same from this one as well. Thank you, Kristina. I believe we're moving on to the Exhibitors Expo as well, and I'd love to talk about that too. So our Exhibitor Expo, Kyra is going to show you what it looks like in a minute. They'll give you a brief tour of what that'll look like in Whova. But I'd like to talk to you a little bit about what that is. So all of our sponsors will have a complimentary booth in the Exhibitor Expo. And then we also have people who are just our exhibitors. And we would like to thank them as well. Of course, their support has also been crucial in ensuring that this conference could happen. So exhibitors will be in this expo hall where you'll be able to jump essentially from Zoom room to Zoom room. So let's say you want to have a conversation with Claudia Cares Consulting. They're one of our exhibitors. You can hop into Claudia's Zoom room, you can chat with her or a member of her staff. And then once you're done with that conversation, once you've gotten the information that you need, you can move on to, say, the GT Independence booth or the Ability Central booth, or the Go Kindred booth if you want to go hang out with Darlene and talk with her about what the possibilities may be for you as far as AAC and communication. So we're really excited about the Exhibitor Expo. It's returning from last year. Again, it's going to be Zoom rooms going on at the same time that you can hop from with all sorts of different exhibitors and sponsors. So Kyra, could you please show us what that's going to look like in Whova?
Absolutely. Thank you, Ed. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again here, folks, and we'll do a quick walkthrough. Alrighty, perfect. I believe I am sharing my screen. Again, we are back in the homeroom. So as soon as you sign in, this is the first spot that you enter. To get to the exhibitors and sponsors, looking again at this left-hand side tab, we see exhibitors and sponsors. As soon as you click in there, it's going to go ahead and, take you to this page. Up at the top, you can see, if I clear out my search tab, sorry everyone, here we are. As soon as you enter, you're going to start by seeing our top level sponsor. Freedom level was GT Independence. And the rest of our sponsors will tier out from there. You can see all of their wonderful booths. Some sponsors have uploaded videos that you can watch. Scrolling down, and you should be able to see all of our wonderful sponsors and exhibitor booths. Of course, you can scroll till you find someone, but like Ed said, if you know exactly who you're looking for, you can always go ahead and search them at the top here. As an example, I'm going to share our Disability Voices United booth, which is right here. You're just going to want to click Visit Booth. This will take you on into the booth. Most of our exhibitors and sponsors will have a Zoom room open for you at the designated times for you to visit. A few of them do not, but they still have information for you in their booth. If you scroll down, you can always request more information, or you can send an inquiry directly on the Whova platform to the exhibitor. They'll receive it within here and they can get back to you. There should also be a description, links to their website, just a lot of really, really wonderful information in here. And that's how you navigate through the exhibitor booth. Again, all of the sponsors are located at the top, but in case you wanted to look at them specifically, you could scroll down to the sponsors tab, where it again has all of our sponsors listed out. And if you click in, it will immediately start playing any of the videos that they've uploaded for you.
And just to add something from Kristina in chat, she wants to mention that this is the online browser demonstration of Whova, so the Whova app may look slightly different. Is that correct, Kyra?
Yes, thank you, Kristina. It might look a little bit different, but all of our expo and exhibitors will still be listed under exhibitors and sponsors tab. If you have any questions, you can always come and ask us as well. And I believe that's it for this demonstration. So I'm going to stop sharing and pass it on over to Kristina, who will take back over with our presentation and share a little bit more about our Wonder Rooms.
Okay, great. Yes, so like Kyra mentioned, at the end of the day, we are going to start doing our Wonder Rooms. These are areas where you can just go and meet, engage with the other conference participants. You're going to go ahead and find this link the same way you're finding the links to all of the other panels, breakout sessions. It's going to be at the very bottom of the agenda in the Whova app. Okay, so the same way like I said, you're finding all the panels and that Kyra demonstrated. I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate what the Wonder Rooms look like. So once you go ahead and open up all the links, it's going to ask you to upload a picture, take a picture, press insert your name and everything like that. I have a little tester picture, sorry. So it looked prettier later on. This is my testing picture. So, but you can go ahead and once you press next, it's going to open up this page. You're going to see these different 5 sessions. Self-advocates, talking about communication, family members, regional center connection, and independent facilitators. Some of these titles might change by Friday, but this is basically all the information to get. You're going to grab your little image and drag it with your mouse to whichever session you are interested in going into. The more people that are in here, you're going to see all of their video cameras. It's basically another Zoom. You're going to see the video cameras pop up. You can go ahead and take off your mic and turn on your video and practice and not practice, but participate like you would in any other Zoom meeting. Get to know everybody. Like I said, it's going to ask you to first, oh, someone's coming in. Judy's coming in. So I can go ahead, take off or turn on my video. You can see my video. I'm now speaking with Judy in this Wonder Room. The more people we'll have, we are maxed out to 50 participants per session. So only 50 people can enter these big boxes, but you can always make a small little group outside of the box. If you're interested, you can always drag your image and go meet with someone else. That'll make a little circle. It'll say, I'm now in a conversation with whoever, unless of course they move away in that case. So yeah, so now we're back and we're having our own private conversation outside of the session. You can do that if the sessions get filled up or if you just want to have a one-on-one conversation with anyone who else you know who's participating in our conference. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go back to these slides. Okay. And now everyone's thinking, well, all of this doesn't start until Friday. What can I do now? How can I start getting ready? You can start getting ready by going into your Whova registration platform and sign in. You'll have to create your own password. So the same thing that Kyra demonstrated earlier on in the slides, that allows you access to look into our Whova app, the Whova browser, look into all the exhibitor booths. You can look at all the sponsor profiles. Most of them are filled up already, so you can start prepping to see which ones you would like to enter on Friday. You can start answering icebreaker questions, get to know everyone else who's participating in our conference. So other speakers, other participants. You can also start looking at the conference agenda, prepping to see which one has interpretation available for the languages that you need or the topics you are interested in. I got a question in the chat a couple minutes ago asking how do I know what they're going to be talking about? You can read the titles and then click on view sessions through the app or the browser. Once you click on view session, you're going to see a description. Read that description. If you're interested, you can make sure to note that I want to make sure I attend that one. Or if it's not something you're interested in, you can go on back to the agenda and find a new one that you're interested in. If for some reason you have any questions, the Whova you're having Whova issues, you want to go ahead and email Kyra. If you're having any Zoom issues, you want to go ahead and email Ed. If you're having some registration and payment issues, you want to talk to your FMS or your service coordinator, make sure they're contacting Monica. If you're having any other login issues, Whova is telling you that it's an incorrect email, you're not registered or something like that, please email Monica. If you are Spanish speaking and you have any question and you don't know who to ask, go ahead and email me at Kristina@dbunited.org. I speak Spanish and I'll be happy to help you and assist in any way I can. If for some reason I don't have an answer to your question, I will go ahead and reach out to the people who might. That was our last slide, and now we'll take some time to answer some questions. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing.
So Ed, I'm going to ask you to look through. I've seen a lot of questions. So even if the questions were answered in the chat, not everybody is reading the chat. So let's start from the beginning, okay?
Certainly, yes. I've collected the questions in a document that our translators have access to as well. We have a lot of Spanish questions. So the first question that I would like to go through is from Jeanette Cardenas, and it is in, I want to make sure that, yep, it's in that document, which I'm going to reshare with Lorna just to make sure that she has it.
And while you're doing that, Ed, I want to remind everyone to select a language so that you can hear the interpretation from Lorna or from Helen, and you go down to interpretations and you click on English if you're an English speaker, or you will not be able to hear what is about to be said.
And Lorna, if you could please interpret the first question from Jeanette that's at the top of this sheet that you're seeing, that would be lovely. Thank you.
I'm going to give this to Monica. Go ahead, Monica.
I can help you with that. She needs to select the correct ticket type. So I might ask Kristina to pop in. Cargo del RC. Is that correct?
Yes. I can also, I'm going to go ahead and answer in the Spanish chat. I did chat her personally, but I will go ahead and go into the Spanish.
Okay, and so to be, just to add a little bit more to that, we have had people register under the wrong ticket types. So we have tickets in both English and Spanish for regional center funded participants, FMS funded participants, professionals, and we have sponsored tickets too. But most questions come from regional center and FMS funded. So it's just a matter of finding that right ticket depending on who is going to fund your conference.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great question. That was a lot of people have had this issue, so thanks for asking them.
The next question, I apologize. I accidentally turned on Siri on my Mac and had to shut that down. The next question that we have is from Amy, and Amy is asking, do we get anything in the mail this week? And Judy, perhaps now would be a good time to highlight the issues that we're having with our manual.
Yeah, the issues are me, but you know, lots of people have issues with me, so that's nothing new. So we have been working hard on and off on this manual. So if any of you have gotten the previous version of our manual of March of 2021, you'll know that it's a very long book, and we are rewriting every single page of this book, which is taking a long time. And I'm getting a lot of help from a lot of people, but we are not going to have this book before the conference. I apologize. We will not be referring to anything in the book at the conference, so it's not like you have to have it in your hand. The book is likely to be sent out the beginning of 2023, and it will have the very, very latest information, which is changing all the time. I mean, literally, there's changes that I know are coming next week about the self-determination program. So we will have the very latest information in the book. We will also have it translated into both Korean and Spanish. And so we will be able to, and it will be a bound printed book for everyone. So it will be sometime in January, we promise. The minute this conference is over, I will go back to it, but we've had a lot of other things to work on. So.
And, oh, I'm sorry to cut you off, Judy. Jeanette, GM and at Jean, excuse me, my goodness. Folks, it's been a long week already. Jean is asking in the chat, when can we expect to receive the book?
Sometime, I would guess sometime in January. We will email you if it will be later than that.
Thank you, Judy. Our next question is from Laura, and she says, on my Whova app, it says I have no events. Is it supposed to say that? Is it supposed to be that way?
Kyra?
I can help out. Laura and I have been communicating. She is all good to go. Problem solved.
Okay.
Moving
Good.
on. Thank you.
Good.
Fabulous. Our next question is from Jordan, and I think this is a really good point. Jordan messaged me privately to ask if I could explain what Whova is. So Whova is the app that we are holding the conference on. So think of it as, especially if you're using your desktop or your laptop to access the conference, think of it as the site that we're holding the conference on, because that's basically how it's going to show up for you. If you are using a tablet or if you're using a mobile device like a phone, you're going to need to download the Whova app, and the registration process should walk you through all that after you receive your link. Would anyone like to follow up with what I've just said? Did I say anything wrong? Great.
So Whova is just gives you the ability to be able to go easily between sessions, to be able to visit exhibitors without being in person. It's trying to give you that opportunity to have a conference experience without actually giving other people COVID. So that's why we're using this. Now, the actual sessions themselves will be on Zoom. So they will look exactly like this meeting that we're having. It's just to get the links for those Zoom meetings and the webinars, you will go into the Whova app and click on the session. It will take you right to Zoom. So once you're in the meeting, it will look very familiar, just like this. But between the meetings, you can go on the Whova app, connect with service providers, connect with other participants. You could put out a message to everyone in the conference to say, I live in a rural area in Northern California. I'd love to meet other self-determination families, and please answer me. So there are ways to network with others through this platform that you wouldn't necessarily get to do if you were just on a Zoom meeting. And if any of you have any concerns about, not wanting to be on the Whova platform, or you have any crisis, please reach out to Kyra, and Kyra and I will talk, because we have other ways to accommodate you if needed. Okay.
Thank you, Judy. Lorna, I am going to ask again that you translate a question from Kenya that is in the document that I've sent to you. I believe it's asking about session interpretation.
A very good question. We wish that we could offer Spanish and Korean interpretation at all 10 breakout sessions. For us, it's a matter of not being able to afford it. Folks should know that the interpreters are incredibly talented and deserve to be paid for their work, but it requires 2 interpreters for each language for each session. So that would require us to have about 60 interpreters simultaneously in Korean, Spanish, and ASL for the 10 sessions. And so that's a lot of people to pay for. It would be way more than we're paying for the entire conference or that we brought in for the entire conference. So therefore, we apologize that we are not able to offer interpretation for every session. And we tried to be very thoughtful. We are offering 3 sessions each time in Spanish with Spanish interpretation and 1 session exclusively in Spanish. Someday we'll be a multi-million-dollar organization and we'll be able to do that. But right now we're a very tiny little group. Many people think we're government. We're not government. We are not. We don't have unlimited funds. Most of us are making pretty crappy wages or are volunteering. So, please bear with us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Judy. Our next question is from Megan. If my child is part of Valley Mountain Regional Center, which is one of the centers who is being sponsored by a local advisory committee, do I have to ask the service coordinator to send a POS? Or when registering, do I select the regional center funded option since they are sponsoring?
That is a good question. Thank you. The answer is to select the regional center funded ticket option. When you select that ticket type, it asks information that we need for billing purposes. And one of those questions is, what regional center are you with? As soon as I get the registration that indicates one of those regional centers, Orange County, Redwood Coast, or Valley Mountain, I will send you an email confirming that you are all done. You have nothing more to do. You don't need to contact your service coordinator. You do not need a POS. I will bill the advisory committee separately.
Thank you so much, Monica. Our next question is from Floor, who asked if if attendees will be able to save or print the materials presented. I'd just like to clarify something and then turn it over to Judy or to Kyra, whoever it makes the most sense to do. The majority of these sessions, actually, I would venture to say all of these sessions, are going to be in a panel format. So there will not necessarily be large presentations for most, if not all of them. People are going to be having a discussion back and forth about the barriers that folks are facing on a particular topic and about strategies that we can use to surmount or to break those barriers. So there won't be materials like you tend to see on SDP Connect, where we have often a big long presentation with lots and lots of resources and a big list of links going everywhere. Judy, would you like to clarify any further on that or speak to that any further?
I'm actually not sure about the downloading of the materials and printing. Kyra, do you know?
You should be able to download most of them. There are some spaces, of course, where you might not be able to if, say, the speaker doesn't want you to be able to download that information, in which case they may instead provide a link to their website. But there are several places in the exhibitor booth where some exhibitors may choose to share handouts, and you will be able to download and access those. As a quick reminder, folks, you are also able to access this Whova platform for, I think, about 3 months after we're finished. So you can go and revisit a lot of this information directly on the Whova app as well. And as Judy has said, we will also have recordings of all of these sessions for everyone. So don't be afraid. You will certainly have all of the necessary information from this conference.
Thank you so much for that, Kyra. We have a question from Candy, which I may also bounce directly back to you. When will we receive the invite or the ticket to join the conference? Monica may also have something to say on this.
I was scratching my head. Sorry, I wasn't raising my hand.
Gotcha.
Yeah. The question, do you want to, would you mind answering that, Kyra? The question was, what will they receive?
Yeah.
Will you say it
Yeah.
one more? Okay, thank you. You got it.
Yeah, I think the question is akin to how do we log in? What are we receiving on the day of the event for login? Is that correct, Ed?
They were asking if they're going to get a ticket, but it really is, the ticket already exists. You have a login now. There's no actual ticket, right, Kyra?
There is no actual ticket. Judy is correct. If you have already registered on our registration page, then your next step is to sign in to the portal for the first time. I will go ahead and re-drop that link in. I just have to pull it up one more time. Let me grab that for you folks. And if you're having any difficulties with this, let me back up. I would recommend signing in, tonight or tomorrow if you haven't already. So that way, if you do have any difficulties logging in, me or Monica can help you. As Judy mentioned, we are a very, very small team. So handling any problems ahead of time will really make this conference run smoothly. So if you're having issues logging in, please let us know as soon as possible so we can help you. And yes, the other information provided is correct. You don't necessarily have a ticket or online. You won't present anything at the door. There is no door. You'll just go ahead and sign in to the portal, the Whova platform portal, and all of the information will be there for you.
Thank you very much, Kyra. Our next question is from Debbie, who says, question for the conference. When you are in a session and you close it out to leave, will there automatically be on your screen the other session options to click on? Or is there somewhere we will need to go or a button to get back to where we can choose another session? I don't want to accidentally close myself out of the entire conference.
Kyra, that's you.
Yes, that's a wonderful question. It might be best if I very quickly share my screen, if that's all right with folks, just to show you what that looks like. Let's see here. Alrighty, so the question was essentially, let's say you are in this opening session, you're in here and you want to go back. You'll have joined the stream. It'll open another window. I believe you guys can see that in the sharing. Can you see that I have multiple tabs open here?
Yes.
Perfect. It'll open in another tab here. So when you exit out of this meeting, you're coming right back in to the Whova app. And if you wanted to go back and see all the other sessions, you would just click sessions again, and this takes you back to the full list, and you can go ahead and click on a new session and join the stream.
Thank you so much for that demo, Kyra. That's very, very helpful. I have a question from, oh, go ahead.
I want to reiterate and say once again what Kyra just said about doing this now. And I see Johnny Watanabe, thank you for already downloading the platform and getting started now. You'll see once you're in it, it's actually not complicated. It's very easy to work through. It's very intuitive, it's very easy to understand. So it's much better for you to play with it a little bit tonight or tomorrow, so that when you start the conference on Friday, you know what you're doing and you know how to get exactly to your sessions. And you do have to create you don't have to, but you can create an individual profile as an attendee with your photo, but none of that is required, okay?
Thank you, Judy. We have a question from Mari. If the regional center client has sent the conference payment information to the service coordinator and the service coordinator doesn't respond in a timely manner, can we still attend the conference?
Yeah, I can take this. So we will, I'm going to be very careful in how I say this. We will turn no person with a disability served by a regional center or their family member away from the conference. Okay, I want to be very clear. We will not do that. However, this is not a free conference. This conference is costing us a great deal of money. And so and the book costs money to print and to send. So we really do want to get payment, but we will not prevent anyone from watching it on Friday. So what I would do is, if you're having a problem with your service coordinator not responding to you, I would suggest that you can call the regional center and ask for what's called the person of the day, or I can't remember. There's a service coordinator who works every every day.
Officer of the day.
Thank you, officer of the day. And you could speak to them and say, I'm not getting a response from my service coordinator. Can you please get me to their supervisor? Okay, so that's what I would do. And somebody's asking about t-shirts. There's no t-shirts this year. T-shirts are just regular DVU t-shirts. If you purchased a DVU t-shirt through when you registered, we will send that out with your book in January. Okay.
Can I just add to that? I have a couple of direct questions. People are asking, how am I going to know that you've received payment confirmation from my regional center? As soon as I receive confirmation from your regional center, within about a day, I send you an email saying, thank you for contacting your service coordinator. Your conference funding is confirmed. You are all set. And I send you the link to join the conference and to log in. I am inundated with information right now. So I'm working really hard to download all the POSs I'm receiving so I can get back to you as soon as possible. So I would say at most within a day of me receiving your confirmation, I'll get back to you and confirm that. And so yeah, that's the end of that. I will get back to you ASAP.
Thank you so much for clarifying that, Monica. Kyra has something that they'd like to clarify, a comment that they'd like to make about the app. Go ahead, Kyra.
Thank you, Ed. Yes, Lorna asked me to share. A few of our Spanish-speaking attendees have asked if the app is translated into Spanish. So some of the features on the side that we showed on the left-hand side, we don't have control over that. That will be in English. But all of our session titles and descriptions have been translated for you by our wonderful translators. So all of that important information you can still read in Spanish. It'll just be under the word agenda, and we can navigate over to that. If you are confused about where to go, we're also sharing the PowerPoint that we had earlier with step-by-step on how to access all of these areas. I do believe there is a way to, if you are tech savvy, change your browser to view Spanish language overall, but that would depend on your browser and is not something that we have the capacity to edit for you, if that makes sense.
Thank you, Kyra. I just want to let folks know that we're winding down into the final minutes, the final 4 or 5 minutes of this session. And we're gonna try and get as many folks answered as possible. We had a question from Johnny. Do I have to upload my picture? I'm gonna go ahead and knock this one out.
I already answered that. I answered it.
Great. Okay, great. I have in the document a question from Yeshika that requires translation. So if you could please interpret that for us, Lorna, that would be much appreciated.
Yeah, we just answered that question, I believe.
Excellent. Lorna, if you could please translate as well the question from Delphina right below that.
That is correct. So you do need to register in Whova, and it's not a big deal. It's not like you're registering for a conference with a credit card. You're only having to put your email address that you registered for the conference in and create a password. I would suggest each computer is different. Some computers save passwords, some don't. It is not a Whova thing about whether your password's saved. It's really up to your computer or your phone or how you have it registered, I would suggest you write down your password on your desk or wherever you're having, wherever you're going to watch it, so that you remember your password. If you forget your password, you can always reset it though.
Thank you, Judy. We're actually at the end of our written questions. Would you like to close out with a question from Leslie?
Does Leslie have her hand raised?
She does.
Okay, go ahead, Leslie. Can you unmute her? I'm sorry.
just-
For some reason I'm not seeing that. I don't know.
Leslie, I've asked that you unmute. If you can go ahead and accept that.
Yes, thank you. I do have a question. We did ask the regional center if both of us, my husband and I, are attending to the meeting, and we asked if we can attend like on the same computer, or does he has to register and still be valid for him?
That's a great question, Leslie. So if you are in the same house using the same computer to watch the conference, and you only want one book from the conference, you don't need to have multiple people register in your household. But if, let's say, one of you is going to be at home and another person will be at work watching it, or let's say you want two books, then you should have separate registrations. Okay. All right, so that is it. We've got through all the questions, yay. We are very excited about this conference on Friday. We look forward to seeing you bright and early.
Sorry,
Go ahead.
sorry to interrupt. For some reason I couldn't get my phone unmuted. Okay, we're gonna be doing it on at the same house, and then I will ask. We probably can share the book. So thank you very much for your answer.
Absolutely. Thanks, Leslie. Thank you everyone for attending today. We promise you this platform is very easy to use, but obviously if you have any problems, please reach out. And take care, everyone. Stay safe and don't get COVID before Friday. Bye, everybody.